Good morning, lovelies. I'm back in the office today after a day yesterday of crocheting myself round and round in circles. I had one of those really dippy days yesterday, as in not dippy, but in a bit of a dip where I didn't feel worth much. I think that's tied into personal cycles as well, which I may or may not get into depending on how deeply I want to go into the personal stuff later on. Today, I need to have a really close look at my schedule. I find that one of the things that helps me to push forward and to sit down and do work when I really don't feel much like doing work, and actually it's not even that I don't feel much like doing work, it's that I don't feel like my work is worth doing on a lot of days. In huge contrast to the other day when I was really excited about my book and feeling awesome and all sparkly and twinkly. I have this cycle where I dip down into everything's crap, I'm crap, nothing I do is worth anything. And wow, poor me. I really... Anyway, and I'm in that space a little bit. And when I'm there, I find that if I have a schedule that I can stick to, that I don't have to think about what I'm going to do next. I can look at the schedule, I can say, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I need to be, and just rely on that to hold me while I'm in that place where I'm not quite capable of holding myself. The schedule holds me. Now I create the schedule, and so essentially I am still holding myself, but there's that little bit of separation, and I can just rely on it like an anchor, like a lovely space that will just hold me while I get through the sticky bits. So today I'm going to revisit that because, as I've said before, I have quite a complicated schedule, and if I bother to look at the bloody thing, it does a really good job of telling me where I'm supposed to be and how many days left I have at each phase in my particular project, in the creation of my particular project. I'm in what I call the active days of the drafting phase for embodying Earth, and I believe I have about 25 days, if I'm remembering correctly, left in that phase for a first draft. And the book is only 25,000 words is the goal I have for this book, so 25 to 30,000 words. It's an instructional book, it's a guide, an experiential guide, and so it's not as long as the novels. And so I need to work out, because I'm still in the note-taking phase, I need to work out how I can split that out so that if I'm in this state of mind over the next week or so, I can come in here, I know exactly how many sections of how many chapters I need to take notes on to get to the point where I still have time left to write a first draft of 25,000 words within that time frame, within the drafting days time frame. I don't know how garbled that sounds. I'll listen back to it and work it out. Today is all about schedule, and it makes me feel safe. When I've got a really good schedule, a really tight schedule in place, I feel safe enough to let that hold me. And all that I'm required to do then is to remember to let it hold me, to remember to look at it, and to know that it's held me before and it will hold me now. And so that's part of what I have learned about holding myself. This is something that works for me. Everybody is different. Everybody will have different ways of feeling safe and centered and coming back to themselves when they start to fly apart and feel scattered or unmotivated. And so this is what works for me. And if anybody has any questions about how I schedule, how I split out days, how I do my calculations, you just got to reach out and ask me. I'll be more than happy to have that chat with you. It's 5 past on the dot. Woo! And that's a good thing. So I will dive in and I'll see you tomorrow.